Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'll be reviewing a game that I played with my student. Again, to keep in, kind of like to get ready for both of us in a tournament coming up. We played again at 5 Stones. Another very interesting game. This game, as opposed to Black kind of playing a moyo-style, Black played a very fighting heavy style. So lots of fights. I'll try to simplify it as much as I can. And yeah, let's see what happens. Before I begin, in the last video, I had a comment saying that the person would like to have coordinates used on the video, so that would be easier to discuss in the comments about moves and such. So for this video, I'm gonna test using coordinates on the SGF Reader. The reason why I initially did not use coordinates is because I think the board doesn't look as clean or aesthetic with the coordinates on. Just my opinion. So that's why I hadn't been using it. So I told them that I would test it in my next video. So let me know if you prefer or do not, or if you prefer or you don't care or whatever with the coordinates. But yeah, so now let's jump into it. I will say my opening was pretty unorthodox, and you'll see that. Black plays super solid in the opening. Pincer, like playing this pincer, or playing this double approach here. I really don't like Black, and I've told him this before. Whenever you play this kind of diagonal, like when you have wide approaches here, you can extend all the way to here. But by Black ignoring, Black really should be saying, I don't care about the corner. So by going back to the corner, it's as if Black would extend this far, right? There's no way Black would extend only to this diagonal. So Black needs to come out into the center. Just keep the two groups separated. Use your pincering stone by keeping the two stones disconnected. And this is what I expected. This move's little slack. And again, going after the corner when you pincered. I was just able to make a base. Black's very over-concentrated. So already Black's move choice has been a little peculiar. But now Black runs out. And I push. I had a tough choice because this move left an obvious weakness here. And I didn't, even though Black can't do this immediately, because I can cut across here. I didn't like the Aji because directly I can't capture these stones, but I can like extend here, which would threaten to capture, and then I could push. So Black can get severely attacked in the corner, but this means any move here is going to protect against that. So like if I jump and Black pincers, like it's going to be pretty uncomfortable because any move Black adds here is going to make this start to work again. So that's why I kind of just wanted to live in the corner. I knew he would jump though to here, so this is definitely the best move. And then I go all the way, which this is a clear overplay. If I'm gonna save this stone, which I did, so I definitely need to just extend and do something like this. Yeah, this would be much better. Even though it's handicap go. Yeah, going there. I should have just left it and counter pincered, but because Black's super solid here. And even though like I'm trying to play super light and creative, it's not going so well. Because this shape is super cuttable is the issue. Black pokes and then goes here. I'm not sure if this is a good exchange. I'd rather Black just go here, but it's hard to say. And then I attach. So the point of this attach is anything else did not feel good for me. Like if I try to play up here, Black can extend and cut. Black has really good shape here. But if I go this way, Black can then descend down and even if something like this happens, I need to protect this cut. So maybe something like this. I still have this cut here. And black's gain on both sides is really good, and I'm still not even too comfortable. So I was trying to stay as light as possible. What I was looking at is something like this for shape-wise, to keep my shape light. But this Hane is pretty difficult for white to handle. So that's why I wanted to play this first, because while I haven't made this exchange, and I just do this one directly, black's less inclined to go here because I haven't made this exchange, which kind of helps black. I can do something like this, something like this. So if black extends up, then I can still get my peep, maybe. Maybe's the key word. And I figured this shape is much better than this one. So that's my idea behind this move, is I'm just trying to stay light, but black extends and then peeps, which I think this is a very sharp peep. It's kind of saying, you know, white attaches to try to get some advantage, a local advantage right here in the center, but black says, no, that's not where the fight is. Like if white tries to connect, white's gonna be, this stone that white played to stay light has actually made 2 heavy groups, so this would not be good for white. Yeah, even black might be able to cut this way too. Gotta be careful though, because directly the ladder doesn't work, but white can go here. But even still, there's no weakness here in black shape, so yeah, definitely. But I didn't want to just connect, because then black just goes here, and what has this exchange done for me? So I tried to ask for a little bit more. This way, if black fixes, then when I push here, I have already made this exchange, so I can net. Black would need to do something like this, Hane. So something like this could happen. So, but black again stays on the money and just cuts directly, because the important stones here are these 2 stones. They're the cutting stones. So black doesn't care about losing this stone because there's a fight here. Push, black extends, push through. Black Hane's cut, and then black fixes. So yeah, white, quote unquote, sacrifice, because I definitely didn't want to give these up, but white loses the top, which is a pretty large loss already, and takes half a, like, this stone is still alive and this wall isn't that thick, so all because white extended to here. Of course, I have a wall, so I try to use it, and black just backs off. Now, I really wanted to play a move out on this side somewhere. Let's just say if white, even if white just one space jumps, but black would just get a huge advantage. Even if I ignore this move, this would be really big. So I figured, because I'm behind, I do not have enough time to just build my right side, because black has prospect for territory everywhere else on the board. So yeah, so attach. And usually white, like, and nowadays the trendy or considered better move is just to attach, and something like this would happen. But this is if the stone isn't under attack, and then white can do something like this or something like this. But because this is so close, it's not plausible for black, or not plausible for white to do the attachment. So I just jump into 3-3. Black blocks, which is considered not so good nowadays, but because this stone here is considered really bad, of course, because empty triangle, not really doing much. But in this case, like, of course, blocking this way wouldn't feel great for black. White just connects. Left side's wide open. So in this case, I agree with blocking on here, on this side. So yes, finally white has some points. Black turns, and black has Sente again and just plays down. So far, black really has only made maybe like 1 or 2 questionable moves, but there's definitely no mistakes. White's definitely made more mistakes than black this game. So this is definitely going to be a hard game for white to catch up in, if at all. Hane, just to see how he answers. And he plays down. Or he plays here. Super, what's the word? Passive and slow. Like he's worried about if he goes elsewhere, like something like this. I don't even know what he's worried about. Maybe white can steal in black. Like something like this, maybe. Which I guess that would be big. But why play from the inside of your stones? Why not play like from the outside? Because this loses a point if this becomes your territory. So a little bit slow, but he's ahead by a lot. So yeah, because this is basically, what is that? 7th line territory? That's at least a 7x7, I would guess. So that's 50 points right there. So approach. I gotta just, I can't build my right side, I can't build the left side, I just gotta start causing havoc. And I don't know why he does this, but I don't know why he never kicks and then pincers. Somehow. I don't know why he never kicks. So why do you want to kick? Because right now this stone has 3 options. It can jump into the center, it can dive into the corner or just take the corner, or extend along the side. But when you pincer, white can really still jump out, can still take the corner, and can still cause havoc on the side. By kicking, by kicking first, and then extend, and white extends, and then you pincer. Sure, the corner isn't yours, but these stones directly cannot do much. Like if you just keep them disconnected, and as opposed to, like, let's say white takes the corner, and you take the outside. This is only 1 stone. White can give up 1 stone. It's a lot harder to give up 2 stones. So you're really making these stones heavy. So black really needs to start considering the kicks, because I rarely see him playing the kick. Attach. Black descends, which is a little slack, because what happens is black just connects solidly. But if we change the order of moves, it's as if, you know, this is like the normal move. Black would like to be able to descend, and black has a huge gain in the corner, but black would go here. So this move doesn't make any sense, this pullback. Black needs to just protect. And I don't see anything wrong with this Joseki choice. Even if black just jumps or does something. Yeah, I can't really say this is white's heavy, which is key. White is heavy. In the game, black played super passively, so all these exchanges are good for white. Like, if black's going to play super solid here, black should consider cutting or playing some other move. I don't know. Just this is too slow. Too solid and slow. Pincer. And then black plays a knight's move, when really there's no need to play a knight's move. Just jump. This actually will come back to bite black later. Just like how white in the upper left or in the upper right played a knight's move, and it also white had to pay hard for it. Because whenever you're running, it's a proverb in Go that's never run with scissors, aka never run with a knight's move into the center, because it's super weak. Kind of think of like when you're running out into the center, you want to have strong supports, like on a building. But so you want to build your supports so they're straight vertical, right? That's the strongest support you can have. But when you start to kind of waver left or right with the knight's move, it's not as stable. Your supports are not as stable. So I jump. Black jumps. So I jump again. And then black comes from this side, kind of pushing me towards his weaker stones. There is actually a really nice move black can play here, which is this one. So I think black should consider this move. It is a little dangerous. Yeah. What would black do here? Actually, no, that does not protect. So really, black needs to fix his supports and just play something like this. Maybe something like this happens. This is much better for black, because black still has an attack on these stones right here and these stones here. Plus, because black played so solid, the one benefit of that is this group here on the left, or lower left, is super strong. Super strong. So to play from that side doesn't really make sense. You kind of want to push white towards your strong stones, not towards your weaker stones, unless you know it's going to help you. But white just plays at the shape point. And this is when black goes into full peeping mode and just starts playing all these peeps, which not a fan of these peeps. Plus, black has to do this because he's worried about his knight's move getting cut. So this is why trying to run out with the knight's move is not good. You can see, even though black's shape here is not good, all these moves here that black's playing means, let's do it right here, means moves here start to work for white. White can really harass black in the bottom right now with different sort of moves because black has exchanged these peeping moves. So only peep if you know the peep is going to benefit you. But white cuts. So this white group's around it, but this black group's around it. Black extends. White extends up and black connects. White would like to cut here, but black can just ladder this stone. And even though white can capture here, again, because black's super solid here, black can just kind of doesn't care about losing that one stone. So this is kind of like an all-in move for white. I knew I was behind. I needed to do something. So black connects. I think that's a little soft, because even though white can cut now, directly it doesn't work. Whatever black does. So maybe this move's a little soft. Black needs to make sure that he can live or white's dead. Like, he needs to make sure of the life and death situation between this white group and this black group. Play here, if kind of extend my base but make his base smaller, and then Hane. Cut once. This is you'll see why. It's because I was gonna make the ko shape, and I figured it's a lot. If I made this ko, like, let's say if I do this now, black plays the ko. If I Atari now, black can connect, right? And this whole white group's dead. And even though I can connect, I'm still not alive. So by Atarying first, that's kind of saying if black wants to save, which he, of course he does. So now if I play the ko, and if I lose it, you can see now my shape's a lot better. Now black is definitely not alive in the upper right, and white definitely has better eye space. Keeping that in mind, I really think black should play this ko. There's my student has a huge fear of ko. Like, he always tries to avoid it, and at all costs. I've never seen him play a proper ko. So if there's any Q players or even low Dom players that want to get better, you have to not be scared of ko, because you get 2 moves somewhere, 2 moves on the board. That's huge. And if black loses this ko, like, I'll show you what happens in the game first. I make good shape, and then black extends here, and we can see that a huge fight happens in the center now. If black cuts and then makes this ko, white makes a ko threat, and black plays all these moves that he was going to play anyways in the center, white winning this ko, black has not lost much. Maybe like 5 points. Not a lot, but black can get another move in the center. This would be huge for the entire fight in the center, which is much bigger than a few points on the bottom. So if you want to get better at Go, if you've been stuck in the Q ranks for a while or low Don, you really have to start accepting that Ko's are in the game and that you can't avoid them. You have to start playing Ko's. Because I bet he didn't even he saw that I could make a Ko shape, and then he stopped even considering it. That's what I guarantee that. I've looked at many of his games. We've played many games, and in about all of them, he has never played a Ko. So if you're watching this, please start considering playing Ko's. You get 2 moves somewhere if you lose it. So yeah, that's probably my Ko spiel that I give him once every month or so, every other month. So anyways, back to the game. Black extends now. White's still not alive here, but white definitely has a lot more liberties than before. So black, if there's a semi-eye between this black group and this white group, so black starts to play in the center. I jump because there's this cut here, so black fixes. And it's not super clear what white should do now, because there's a weakness here, obvious weakness here. There's a weakness at this cut, and there's a weakness coming out right here. So white needs to try his best to try to fix all the weaknesses. So what do? I jump, and this is what this move was looking at, is this jump. Trying to see if black's going to expend forcing moves here to try to save the upper left. So black jumps, or attaches, I mean. Hane, extend, connect, cut. And already white's starting to get a little bit stronger. So I connect. I connect this weakness, right? So I still have 2 weaknesses. So black pokes at the first, threatening pushing through and cutting these off, or pushing through and cutting all these studs off. But I extend. Black extends with me, and then I push here. Black comes down, trying to extend his liberties, making sure he doesn't get sealed in. But again, notice how it forces me to connect. So then black, but again, this move here was looking at 2 weaknesses, this one and this one. So once I took this one, black took the other one. So white's still struggling here. And then white cuts through, and then black hanes. White connects. Black needs to cut, and then white pushes, and then connects. And you can see black now cannot cut through because of these stones here. Because this is an Atari. So white's connected now. Now again, this is okay for black, but black really could have just played here, force white to capture the upper left, and then now that these are cut off, these 6 white stones, these black stones are alive for sure, which means black can attack these stones here. So black really needed to consider just giving up that corner. Like I'm not sure what white does here. Does white try to save the 6 stones? It looks pretty dire if he tries to. Plus now, again, now once black saves these stones, black can control the game because black can go this way or black can go this way and come back to this group. So I really think black should have considered giving up the corner. What's another way you're gonna get to higher ranks? It's sacrificing. Always consider the sacrifice, because now we still have this huge question mark in the bottom, like what's gonna happen. And you'll see what happens in the game. Black misses another opportunity, like right here. White extends and black extends with white. If black just connects here, forcing white can capture these 2 stones, sure, but again, coming back and capturing these 5 stones is huge. And even though white captured, like, saved these 3 stones, there's no oji of this any move here because there's just not enough space for white. Conversely, going this way. So this, like, black got too greedy. Black had 2 chances of just sacrificing, just sacrificing and taking a larger gain somewhere else, but black extends with white. So now if black tries to do that, well, now black's giving up much more points, so now black kind of has to, he's all in, kind of. So white's just pushing, and again, still taking as much as he can get. It is true that this would be much harder for black, but still, definitely a little greedy. As white jumps out this way, black jumps, peep, and then plays knight's move covering. Black has this weakness that he has to come back and protect at some point. So yeah, if black just comes back, white can jump here. And because of the aji here, black actually cannot cut white off, because if black connects here, white can actually capture all these stones. Now black might hane here and then go like this. And again, I don't think this is terrible for black. Maybe just come down. This is possible for black. Black's actually alive as is. White can take out this eye, but black can make another one on this side. But this is painful because black gave up this. White's super solid, plus a move here. Even though black can live like this, a drop down like this is sente, which means white can easily capture, and this would be a disaster for black. So yeah, by playing super aggressively, black can't just come back and connect. So black plays strongly here still. And then I play this one. Then black jumps. Still doesn't want to connect for some reason. But just jumps. And then again, white cuts, which is threatening to cut off these 6 stones. But if black just connects, again, this is keeping eyes on the prize. Even though, sure, black gives up 6 stones. What are 6 or 7 stones? What is that, 14 points? Plus white saves these, which is 6 points. So what is that? Like a 20-point swing. Just capturing the bottom here is 20 points. And then black can come back and again harass this group. Harass this group. And black's still looking good here because this bottom is huge. This is a huge gain for black, especially if white's not alive here. So black really needed to consider just giving up the stones here. But black does not. So then white pushes through and cuts. So now it's a question of life and death here. Which I've looked through many variations. Many variations. And I could not find one where black wins. I'll just say that right now. This semi between this group and this group. And it's because when black plays all these peeps way earlier, like this move at k4. See, I used the coordinates. At k4 or k6. Those peeps, they really help white extend liberties and doesn't give black that many liberties. Sure, black may not have considered that or didn't even think that a liberty race was going to happen because, of course, it was 100 moves later or whatever, but still. You can see why peeping like black did in the game is not great. So, peeps, connects. Hane, because then this would be pretty risky. So, after peeping, I take this move. Connect, and then play down. Push. Hane. Connect. And black tries to... Any move here is actually taking away black's liberties. So this move's not very good because white can push here. Black takes away liberty. White can push though. And you can see black does not have a lot of liberties. You can see that black needs to connect. But black loses this one by a lot. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like 4 liberties. However, so black loses this and loses the game here. However, black doesn't realize how far behind he is. So he plays once here. So I just dive. Plays again here. So I just save these 4 stones. Plays down again. That one I do have to answer. But plays again, so I just ignore. Pushes, and then I take. And even after having 3 moves here, you'll see that black still loses the semi. Like if black plays a co-threat somewhere, I don't know, like this. White can play here, which means this isn't a ko anymore, because if black thinks it's a ko, white can actually Atari from this side, and it's a connect and die. So black needs to fill. But again, white has 1 extra liberty, which is all you need. And black cannot cut white off, because again, it would be a self-Atari. So, after white getting 3 moves elsewhere on the board and goes here, black resigns, which I think is the proper move, is to resign here. Yeah, he was definitely frustrated after this game, which is understandable. But you need to, whenever you're trying to, like, this was a teaching game, right? So if you're trying to get better, you need to distinguish games that you are trying, like, that you are playing to win, aka tournament games, maybe games online even, some games online, like if you have a serious account or whatever. So you need to distinguish between playing to win and playing to learn. So this game, definitely black should have had the mindset of just playing to learn as opposed to playing to win, because he was very frustrated that, oh, I can't count the liberties of this group, blah blah blah. But really he should change that perspective and say, I learned that I need to get better at reading liberties, or I need to get better at playing codes, or etc. So I'm a big proponent of the mental side of things. And I think the mental game of Go is half the battle. So takeaways for this game, black's opening was superb in this game. I made more mistakes in the opening than he did. But black definitely needs to not be afraid of ko. What was the other one? Not be afraid of ko. Need to be willing to sacrifice. And making exchanges that you don't need to make. or making sure that the exchanges that you make are more helpful than hurtful. And lastly, mental game. Because even though he was frustrated, that shows me that he's passionate about it. So it's not that it's like a complete bad thing that he was frustrated after the game, but you need to make that bad thing into a good thing, I guess. So pretty bloody game. Lots of fighting and blood-filled game. I do have one. If anybody right here, like maybe right here, wants to maybe screenshot this or put this into an SGF and can figure out a way Black can win the semi, because in the game Black was behind by 4 liberties, but I found ways that Black would only lose by 1 liberty. But if anybody wants to find a way for Black to live here and win the semi at this point, please let me know. The best way is if you have a Discord. I have a link to a Discord channel for the channel in the video description. So check that out if you have a Discord, and you can post the image in there. If not, you can, I guess in the YouTube comments, you can post coordinates. Might be a little hard to decipher, but it would work. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know how you liked the coordinates in this game, whether you liked it with or without the coordinates, or if you're indifferent. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.